guys, so I'm gonna try to clean up some of this bedroom area today. Probably do a little touching up of some paint, trying to scrape some paint off places we don't want it, doing this frame. The first thing I gotta do is, this corner is driving me nuts, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it right there at that seam, and I'm going to lift that frame and put it up a little bit, so it's gonna separate and move up a little bit there, and then I am gonna caulk some edges and try to clean it up and use some touch-up paint, but as it sits right now, it's just not good enough. So, all right, let's get started. So I started off by grabbing my oscillating Dremel tool and cut off that piece of trim. Then I cleaned it up, reapplied it, re-glued it, caulked the area a little cleaner than it was before, of course. Cut a couple more small pieces of trim and re-caulked it. And then got a razor blade to clean up some of the paint. Okay guys, so the trim is drying. It's setting, if you will, with the glue and the caulk. I'm going to do some touch-up paint that will make it look a lot better than it does right now. There's just fingerprints and smears. This is really, I keep showing this and highlighting it, but this has been the biggest struggle part of doing this trim. Really, the rest of it doesn't look bad.
Dad, there's a big hole out a little hole. There's a big hole out a little hole.
A big hole and a little hole where?
Right here.
Oh, there's a hole. Here. There's a hole in the screen. There's two holes in the screen. I guess Dad's gonna have to do that work too.
A big hole and a little hole.
Yep, Dad's gonna have to fix those. So anyways, as I was saying, the trim doesn't look bad, and I did a little bit of caulk up there. Get a little closer for you. So a lot of it doesn't look too shabby, but this one corner is pretty rough. So I'm hoping that I smoothed it out with the caulk, and when I do some touch-up paint on it, I'm going to do both the blue and some in the wall. Hopefully things look a lot better. So anyways, let's go ahead and do this door trim. You want to talk to the camera?
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to say?
I really put the rainbow doorknob in for the camper. Also, I really love rainbows.
Oh, we're gonna put a rainbow doorknob on. You really want to put that on, huh? We gotta wait till we redo that part of the camper though, because we didn't put it on back here, and we're still trying to finish this bedroom we've been working on forever.
Oh.
So let's put this trim. I got all my pieces for my shelves and the door trim. So let's get that door trim up.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna set our camera down there.
Okay.
There's that.
Okay, Dad. Okay,
Yeah.
Dad.
Hey, well, you gotta get your head out of the way.
Okay, Dad.
So this is what Dad's got to do. I'm measuring my board. It's 32 inches.
Ooh, my dad's measuring the board.
It's 32 inches. So 16. I'm gonna mark right where it's in the middle.
It's 32 inches.
So I put a small mark on 16 inches, right smack in the middle.
Dad, can you give me your green pencil too?
I'll give you this green pencil when I'm done with it in just a minute.
Okay.
Now, the door frame is just barely over 2 foot. So there's 1 foot. So there's the middle point of it.
And my dad's gonna give the green pencil back when he is done with the green
You gotta
pencil.
get your head out of the way. People want to see what Dad's doing. So, here's the middle point. I'll set that up there. It's kind of hard to see because of the glare. Let's close this door.
Yeah. People can't see because of the glare.
That's a lot of backlighting.
Dad,
So there, we should be lined up.
can I have the green pencil now?
Yes. So that's how that's going to go on. Here's the green pencil for Raylan.
Thank you.
As I stated last video, primarily we're using the glue. So we're going to glue this, but I'm also going to pop a couple screws in it to hold it on there. Alright. Alright. There's that. Now, stick it up there.
Stick it up there.
Yep. Alright, so we'll go put just 2 small screws through it. Try to keep it subtle. You can always have a little bit of slack on the bottom. Ideally you don't want to. But it's going to look bad if there's a gap if you put it on from the floor level and then there's like a 2-inch gap to the board. So I put this up. These two I will try to explain to you what I'm talking about here. Hold it up. See, this is sitting on the floor right now. That's a perfect example. You don't want that. And the floor is below. If you remember, I don't have any flooring down in here yet, so that's actually going down to the subfloor. So I'm gonna put that piece all the way up, and you'll never, notice it on the floor level. If there is a little gap, it's gonna be tiny. So that's why I put that piece on first. Same thing with these, primarily using the adhesive.
It dropped a heart.
Awesome.
Where you're gonna put these at?
I'm gonna have to show you in a minute.
Oh, where we are doing with that glue?
That glue holds this up for the most part. This glue is stronger than the screws. So we're gonna put it up here.
Oh, I'm gluing something too.
I don't think I have anything for you to glue right now though, baby. So if you guys are new to my channel, my whole premise is that I'm just an everyday guy. I'm definitely not a professional. I just enjoy working on things. I'm kind of learning, and it's a journey. So I think it's a decent perspective of like a real life person trying things and not an expert that knows exactly what they're doing. And so I'm just documenting everything to you here, and I learn and I get better as I go about this stuff. But one of my imperfections, it's really showing up right now. Now that I put this other piece of trim on, there was a lot of gaps around this doorway initially, and so I used some spray foam, and I spray foamed it. You saw it before I put stuff up. Well, the door for a little bit was kind of wonky. I ended up having to get the foam, the expanding foam, out of there and stuff. But what we're seeing, and I didn't notice it because the gray walls or the tan walls and stuff, but now you can see it that my wall is actually bowed out here. So that expanding foam filled in. I didn't think I put that much in there, but had to have somewhere to go. Obviously I did too much, and so that's what we got going on now. I mean, it's gonna stay. I'm not gonna take down the whole wall and shave it out and stuff. Maybe that's what a professional would do, but it's not hurting anything. It's just not aesthetically pleasing, and it's kind of obvious when you see this side and then that side. But so anyways, there's that. Just wanted to document that for you. I'm not proud of it. I'm not thrilled about it, but I always try to show you guys the truth. All right, now I need to do the shelves. I already cut my little notches out there. I didn't even measure it. I figure these are 1 inch, so that's just about 2 inches. So yeah, I got that, and then I got enough space for the shelf in there. So that's where we're going next. Okay guys, so we're about ready. This is what the framing looks like. This one sure doesn't look level to me, but I checked it twice and it says it's level, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe my eyes are just crazy, but whatever. Got some artwork here. Kitchen, yeah, Raylan was yep, she was being a little artist, so, but at least she did it on the bottom side. So we're gonna put these in here, and I'm going to screw them down. So at this point, things are pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna drill a couple, probably 4 total pilots, so that I don't splinter my stuff. And do the same up here on the top one. And if you guys were watching closely when I had the time lapse going, and I don't know how fast that came along, as I usually try to do, I try to get away with not pre-drilling those holes, piloting them out. And my very first one had started to splinter. And that sounded like maybe the framing one was there too. I was double checking on this one that I didn't go too far that way because the outlet is in line pretty close there. So I think I was going pretty straight down though. If I barely may have touched the wall, I don't think I would have. The majority of that's going to be hitting my frame piece. Even if it touched the wall, I don't think it would have gone far enough to go through an electrical wire. So truthfully, I didn't think to keep my eye on that until after the fact, but I'm convinced that I wasn't that close anyway. Now I am going to take these hooks off for the time being because I'm going to stain these boards to match the rest of the wood in the room. Now, since I'm doing this stain while it's on the wall, I'm not taking that off. I say since like it's a true plan or something. I don't have a plan. I'm going to do tiny little bits and try to be super careful. It's probably a horrible idea. I am going to be doing a little bit of touch-up paint, so I probably fairly easily... You know what? We're about to learn. I wonder if this is even going to stain, because it's like already... Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. Probably work if I sanded it down. Maybe I can... This is what I'm going to try for now, because it's sitting there and it's basically... There's low risk to this. Guys, I've already started. I'm going to go ahead and try to do this half-hearted surface stain coat on it. And it's not seeping in because the wood's already like sealed. But I'm going to try this because if you do notice, it's darkening it a little. So if it doesn't work, I can go backwards. I can just take it off and get a new piece of raw wood and stain it and it'll match up perfectly fine. But I'm actually going to try to I'm just going to go ahead and give this a try right now and see if I can get it to blend in. That's definitely the other factor, is the sealing. I should have stuck some frog tape on there. Okay, guys, so we have ourselves a couple of shelves. I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. And as you saw before, underneath side, that's the framework. We've got our artwork from Raylan, but at least at my height, you can't see it. I feel like the shelves, you know, I mean, I wouldn't put any weights on or anything, but they'll hold a purse or whatever. They'll hold cell phones, etc. for sure. We'll see about this. I still haven't made up my mind. I mean, it was already treated, so it's a little darker when I slap some stain on it, but is it going to be good enough? I'm not sure. Our door frame, I like it. It's not perfect. Hardly anything I've done is. Happy with our sign. I just checked the caulk. It is still drying. It's still wet. I'm not going to paint today, so I need to get some more paint going. I'm going to paint. I did try to scrape that. It's just going to scrape down to metal, so we got some trim to paint. We got some lights to change out. I noticed that stain was a pretty close match, so I decided to give it one more coat and move forward. After that, I got a small detail paintbrush and just touched up the blue trim paint, and then got a chip brush and touched up the walls a little bit. It's time to finally switch out these lights. Okay, what I had not mentioned to you guys is that I had unplugged the battery, or disconnected the battery to the camper and unplugged the camper, so I had no power running through it. Before I put some electrical tape on these wing nuts and screw these lights up in there, I want to make sure they work. So I haven't checked them yet. Oh boy, and that's a negative. Is this one gonna work? Crap. And neither one of them are working. I had blown a fuse with the heater earlier, but I'm fairly certain that this other light was still working, so I got some figuring out to do. I was following suit with the old lights that were in here, and I used the red wire and connected to the white, and then black to the blue. You know, that the old ones worked. That seemed reasonable to me. Didn't read anything, didn't look at anything, whatever. Didn't work. Trying to troubleshoot, trying to figure out what's going on here. I was getting kind of frustrated, to be honest with you. I thought maybe it had something to do with me blowing a fuse earlier or tripping the breaker, but it didn't seem to. And I was like, well, this light worked still, even though I didn't have an outlet. And then I noticed on the back, I don't think you can read this. I don't think it's going to come into focus for you, and it's kind of really small print. But it says wiring from power source. Black or multicolor wire is the positive. White wire is the negative. And then it says wiring from this light. Red wire is the positive. Black wire, negative. So it was the opposite. So I need to go black to white and red to multicolor, which is the blue on this particular scenario. So I flipped them. Boom. Both lights work. Now I'm going to apply some electrical tape on here just to secure them. Like I said, they are wrapped multiple times. Tuck them back in, mount them up, and then let's go from there. Okay guys, so we're finally making some progress. The bedroom for the camper, the bedroom's done except for the flooring. The flooring we're gonna do all at once. I don't want seams. It's gonna be difficult to do because there's not a large space here, but everything with the floor is done. I can't wait till this camper's totally complete and it really becomes a full cohesive unit. But yeah, everything's done. Probably put in like a little shelf or something, like set something over here in the corner. I didn't want to put any built-ins there because my wife gets up, you know, when we're sleeping, and obviously she's up against the wall there, so we need space to get out if we need to get up in the middle of the night. But I'm pretty happy. I think this looks a lot better than it did. Of course, we're putting up some curtains. Those are still being made, so that will make those walls not look quite so bare as well. I like the new LED lights. I'm happy with what we got going on here. See what we do next. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.